All right, so we're going to take this opportunity to start this panel. I have the pleasure to be sitting with a few players here. We have Doug, Swedish Delight, and The Moon, and I'd like to welcome you here. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
So the reason we do this is it gives the players the opportunity to kind of hear from top players. You guys are, especially today, doing a lot. From basically 11 o'clock till now, you guys have been playing nonstop, especially since it's a one day. But even at majors, I'm sure people who are your fans, they don't want to bother you. You guys are in the mindset, you're focused. But I'm sure they're interested in knowing a little bit about how you got to where you were. And so that's why we're doing this, is to learn a little bit about how you guys got so good at what you do. So the first question I always like to ask is, and I'll just throw it out there, anybody can answer, is what was your training regimen before you kind of feel like you started to have your breakout moment and you started doing really well? How many hours a week were you putting in, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, I want to go in order.
Yeah, we should go down the road. How about
am I going
starts?
first?
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, I didn't do a lot of tech skill training. The majority of what I did was personal set review, or I would go on to Smashboards, post my own videos, and say what can I do better? And I did a lot of analyzing micro situations, like if I lost to somebody just because they were back airing or down tilting the entire time, how do I beat that? And following that up, what else could I be doing better? What options am I not exploring? So it's not really something I can put an hour value on. It's just stuff that I thought throughout the day and when I watched my own videos.
It seems like you picked a few things and focused on those things to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
For me, I've been playing a long time, for about 8 years, since I was in middle school. So most of my time getting better is mainly through experience and by getting to know the other top players and what they do. For example, I would just talk to Zoso or Drug Fox at tournaments and learn hey, what am I supposed to be doing? And if I have a bad situation and mess up, they'll tell me right off the bat, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. Then in my senior year of college, I had a single to myself and I had a setup, so I decided to play at least 5 to 10 minutes per day, and that was my big house warm-up. And now, after I graduated, I'm able to up that to 10 to 20 minutes per day.
Yeah. Is that true? 5 to 10 minutes a day? That was your focus?
Yeah. I would set the timer to 5 minutes, and then I would play with Sheik or whoever character I wanted to play, and then I added Peach on later, so that would be another 5 minutes.
Is there something special about the 5 minutes, or is that just how much time you had free?
Oh, well, I mainly free time, but also I really didn't have that much of an attention span for solo practice. Mm-hmm. And now it's more of I'm able to grind it out more because I want to do better.
Okay.
So I doubled that time.
All right. For me, I kind of felt like I was the hybrid baby or the hybrid era of Melee, because before '09 it was the old players and they had so much vast knowledge, but then I was in the time before the dot kids, so it was I felt like I was placed in the right spot at the right moment because I picked up a lot of stuff from DJ Nintendo, Alucard, Dati, D1, G Money.
Yeah.
That's my major success because of those dudes. They've been in the scene for so long. But then as new technology started coming out, everybody wanted to become a shield drop master, or everybody wants to Shino store or become the next Mewtwo King. So I started picking up those habits, different players. There's a couple of other hybrid Melee babies like Slox and I'll say Smuckers, because I grew up with them. There's more, but those are the ones that are in my head right now. And without DJ Nintendo, without D1, none of them, they were the ones that knocked the habits out of me. I still have habits, but I'm glad I grew up in New York City because we had legends also J-Man, we had Vans. When Hax was at his prime, he was just the super speed racer of Captain Falcons. So I had all these people to learn from, and I actually loved my environment because we were hard on each other. Damn, you actually suck at Edgeguard, and what's wrong with you today? And that's, for us as New Yorkers, that's positive criticism. If you're gonna lie and baby me and put a blanket over me, I'm gonna look at you all right, you don't wanna help me get better. You just wanna get better for your own habits so you can keep beating me. So when I play with my friends, we tell each other, stop shooting lasers from the ledge. stop rolling. Evan does this to me every time. Ryan, why do you keep jump faring against Jason? You know he's not going to change. He's not going to change. So thanks to them, like, my success grew off of my friends being super honest and not like, oh, well, maybe next time you should jump a little fade backwards. Just say, no, practice your spacing, get it together. Short and simple.
Seems like you guys were really honest with each other and forced each other to give each other feedback, and you couldn't get upset about it. You know, it's like, hey, I'm just trying to help you. Okay. And it sounds like you had a lot of people in your life who were all like in it and had the same goals.
Yeah, I had like all the legends, like even PC Chris was on our side.
Yeah.
We had OTG, we had Nico. He was the new Marth main before I became the Marth main.
Oh my gosh.
See, even memories coming back for him. We have Zenguzin. I want to shoot 10,000 lasers at you all day. Like you see his items thrown, it will be like 700 lasers.
Wow.
But he's the one that did it. We had Strict 9, one of the Falco mains back in the days. DJ used to play Samus. We had a couple of Samuses out there, so we had a vast majority in New York City. It's funny how that place is a melting pot, but our scene was also like a melt. We had like every single character, but some of them we lost, like Jigs and Falcon.
Okay.
Melee for me was way more of a personal journey because Michigan didn't have any top players for a really long time. The Melee scene, like, almost died when Brawl came out. Pretty much everybody switched to Brawl, or they just stopped playing, retired, focused on real life stuff. So me getting better was like I played a lot with my friend Moose, and like I played with Juggle Guy.
I love Moose.
Yeah.
He's so buff.
He's so So yeah, I guess different paths, but you know,
all lead
similar
to the same way.
destinations.
And thanks. All right, so another two things to my success. My friend Luck introduced me to the game. His name is Tarek Johnson. And then the fact, people don't know this, but there's a major thing in Melee history that actually revived Melee besides Samus Smash Doc, was Alucard hosting ROM. Because that's like he said, Melee was dying, and then people gave Brawl 1 year. They gave them like a year contract. All right, I don't like this game. Let's go back. And we thought that ROM, I wasn't there, but when I say we, as in the community, we thought that ROM was just going to be a regular local. And then you had Evan. He was kind of like, he was the MLG of Smash. Like, hey guys, welcome to, ROM. Let's go have a tour around. And everybody would see his videos from like Australia, from Germany, from England, wherever. And without Alucard bringing ROM back, we would have never known what would have happened with Melee, because Mango came out, Oz and Chu, Chillin'. Like all these people came out, Kage, and you're like, oh wow, we thought this would be some whack ROM.
Yeah. It speaks to how it's community driven from the beginning to the end, and the revival. It's always been community driven, and without everybody all participating in it, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Grassroots,
Yeah,
baby.
for sure. I was at ROM, and I told my parents, oh, this is just going to be a once in a lifetime experience. There's it was just a regional, again, as Ryan was saying. And then all those people came out of nowhere.
So that's why we
great
got
to
the legendary, whoever the beep said is the greatest of all time in Florida is sadly mistaken. That was from ROM. That was the Shiz Mewtwo King moment. That was when Zoo was always standing in front of the TV. Like, this was his seat. Like, that's the Zoo. Like this has so many memories. This is when Kage, like in ROM 2, Kage beat Mango, even though he went Link. That's when, like, Hungry Box, that's when PPMD was rising for ROM 3 in 2010, and, like, in November. Like, everything had a value. That's when, like, ROM 4, Mango won, I believe. ROM 5, Mewtwo King won. So, like, it holds great history. Sure, people, it wasn't the best, blah, 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 blah. But that's a lot of tournaments when we grew up.
Yeah, definitely.
But now we're older, so we can't be playing 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff.
Yeah, you got to appreciate, all the history that came with it. I think so. So I got a couple questions we put up for Reddit, on Reddit, questions that people might want to know from you guys. So I'll just have a couple and then we'll move on. So the first one is, so a lot of people actually want to know what's your guys' stance on the whole legalizing modded controllers debate?
Don't do it. I think it's really dumb. It's really difficult to find a way to legalize the boxes without also legalizing like normal controller mods. So like the Smashbox, just by itself, it adds buttons. So why can't we add buttons to the normal GameCube controller? The Smashbox uses digital inputs for movement. Why can't we have digital inputs for movement on the normal controller? And you can't point to, like, you can't say that it's okay for the Smashbox because it's hard to use. We don't know that yet. It hasn't been out for very long. There's only like 2 people using boxes currently. And like people keep coming out with more and more information saying that digital inputs give this and this and this advantage. And without saying that you're basically only making an exception because of the box, which I think would be it would be really dumb. You're making an exception for like 0.01% of the community that affects the entirety of the community.
Okay.
So I think it should be banned.
All right. You guys have any other opinions on that?
I think the opposite of Duck, but his points are very. He has very like solid points. The only reason why I say it, just a personal thing, I just want to see it. How far can it go? And if it does get bad, just like Duck said, then yeah, like then it goes into the.
It's not a good thing. It's not something that you can easily retroactively remove because people will already have modded controllers, and those controllers immediately become garbage because they're not tournament legal anymore. So I think it would be better to deal with the situation now. Either make everything legal or make the Smash boxes illegal. One choice or the other. If the TOs come to a consensus, I'll agree with it. Like, if they decide that the Smash boxes is okay, I'll pay somebody to mod my controller. I'm okay with that. But just like half-assing it is not good.
Okay. True. So we're actually going to stop right here, and we're going to transition to the next people. I just want to thank you again for you guys getting up here, coming all the way out to our tournament in little old Bloomington, Indiana. I appreciate it. And we'll sign off for now and have the next group come up. So thank you again.
All right, thanks.